Hi, I'm Monique, and I'll be sharing my midwife-led pregnancy journey with all of you. With my 2 previous pregnancy and birth experiences being incredibly special and empowering, I realized that there's a lot of misconception regarding midwife-led care, and a lot of women who want natural births didn't choose midwives because they just didn't have enough information. So I hope that by sharing my story, I can help a few women make an informed choice regarding their prenatal care and birth options. So thank you for joining me as I share my midwife moments. Hi, and welcome to another episode of my midwife moments. So as you would know from watching some of my previous videos, is that I've decided to record my journey of having midwives as my primary care provider as we are pregnant with our 3rd child. Both my previous pregnancies were also with midwives, and I decided to tell the story a little bit to give more information regarding what midwives do and how they take care of you during pregnancy and birth. This is purely my opinion and purely my experience, and just a way of maybe helping a couple of women decide on their primary care provider if they're one day lucky enough to also be pregnant. So for today's episode, I thought we would, I thought I'd chat a bit about what happens at a midwife appointment. So we're currently at 30 weeks pregnant. When you first realize you're pregnant, get a positive test, then the first thing that you do is you actually go for a scan, and those scans happen between 8 and 12 weeks. So you're going to see me referring to my phone a little bit, but there's a very nice information sheet that gets sent out by the midwives that has all the information regarding how the process works, what makes you a good candidate, all the midwives listed that's in their practice, because the practice I'm going to, Midwives Exclusive, has more than one midwife, so there's always a backup. They never work alone, there's always someone with them. So yes, so they send all this information about what you have to pack, how often you see them, the birth options you have of locations, so you can either birth at home, at their birth center, or in hospital. So that's been emailed through to me. I'm just going to refer to it so I can make sure I get my information right regarding how many weeks and when you do what. So okay, so between 8 and 12 weeks you actually only go for a scan. So you can either do this through an independent sonographer like I did with Maki. She works with Midwives Exclusives, or you can go to a gynecologist if you prefer, especially if you would like that gynecologist to kind of be your backup gynecologist throughout your pregnancy. Midwives do encourage you to have a backup gynecologist that you see later on in pregnancy as well for one checkup, should you wish to do so. And it's always just nice to know who would be called in should it reach the point where you would need a gynecologist or an OBGYN. Back to how it works when you go see a midwife. Right, so you go see a midwife then only from about 14 to 16 weeks in your pregnancy. So you're almost at this stage at your 2nd trimester. So by this stage you should have a tiny little bump. They can feel your uterus, and this is when your journey starts with your midwife. So how it works is you make your appointment, you arrive at the birth house, and where they see you for the appointment, and we've never waited more than like 5 minutes. Most of the time they're already ready for us, and you go straight into the consultation room. We sit down, we have a chat. She asks if there's anything I have any questions about. We talk about anything that's related to the pregnancy, any concerns I might have, any questions. So yeah, sit and chat for a while. Then she puts me on the examination bed and takes my blood pressure, feels my belly, listens to baby's heartbeat, and then yes, from there, if there's no big indicators or anything like that, anything I need to talk to her about further, then that's about half an hour. I'm in and out, and I get to go home. So it's really quick, and it's really informative, because you really get to talk to them about anything. I at this stage now, 30 weeks, start struggling with swollen feet and the food aversions I have, or the fact that I haven't really been able to take prenatal vitamins because they make me nauseous. So all their recommendations, all their knowledge, everything, it's really helpful, and it's really nice because it feels like you build a relationship. So we have now seen them for that appointment, the 14 to 16 week appointment. Then at 20 weeks you go for another fetal assessment scan. So that's quite an important one. That's where they measure baby's organs and make sure that everything is developing on schedule and as it should be, and make sure that all the big and vital things are in place and growing well. So we've already been for that one. It was really wonderful because we got confirmation that we are having a baby girl. This is also the first pregnancy we actually know the gender, so it kind of feels like a first time. So yes, this time we decided we wanted to know the gender. So we got confirmation that it is a baby girl, but I haven't seen the sonographer since, and haven't had a sonar with any of the appointments we've had up to this stage. The midwives we go and see don't do scans. If you want to scan, you can either then do it with an independent sonographer. But yes, I actually basically only have like 3 scans throughout the pregnancy. So the very early one, the 20-week one, and then much later at about 36 or 38 weeks, then you have another scan just to check that everything is fine. But so far so good. That's worked out fine for us. I don't feel like, apart from curiosity, that you need much more. Okay, so then we went for our 28 week midwife appointment. So again, they measure the bump, make sure everything is growing as it should. My midwives are very keen on saying boring and straightforward, which just basically means that there's no big thing going on, which is great. A pregnancy in general, when you go for appointments, is kind of straightforward. There isn't really anything big happening. It's important though that I have found that the relationship building that I have with my midwives really help when it comes to birth, because I really trust them. But yeah, that's basically it. That's how it works when you go and see a midwife. It's very straightforward, it's very personal, and I found it to be very encouraging, and I always feel very comfortable once I get back home and know that things are well. And so there you go. That is my midwife moments. Thanks for watching. Bye.